If you can look at parenting through the lens of you just bettering yourself day in and day fucking out, to be not only the example that they need, but to mirror who you want them to be by doing it yourself first. And that's just the greatest fucking return on any investment that you can make is into your legacy. The ROI, return on investment of being a parent, I think it's the greatest return I've ever gotten for anything I've ever invested into. Doesn't matter the frustration, just the effort, the energy, literally putting everything down to be a parent is the greatest fucking return. And I'm gonna tell you why. If you can look at parenting through the lens of you just bettering yourself day in and day fucking out, to be not only the example that they need, right? But to mirror who you want them to be by doing it yourself first. You cannot tell your children shit that you're not following and you expect them to listen. I have gotten so much further being that example for my children, right? Showing them the fucking way, showing them healthy habits, showing them the things that they should be liking, not the things that I should be liking and the shit that they should follow. Never have I ever asked my children to do anything that I felt was in alignment with who they're becoming. I always tell them to follow their dreams, follow their passion, follow what they like. Let them experience it all, right? But continue to be that role model and the most important aspects of life, right? Health, relationship, business, community, family, the influence that you have on the people around you by simply being me. So anytime that I've ever, which I don't entertain the fucking thought, I don't entertain the thought of quitting, slowing down, none of that shit. But anytime if I've ever entertained, right, not wanting to do something that I know will affect my children in the long run, that's all I have to literally do is picture them. Picture the version that they will become if I don't follow through with whatever it was that I didn't want to do that day. That's literally it, right? Doing things with my children. Also, there's also a selfish element. These are things that I wasn't able to do as a child. There's a lot of childhood phases that I skipped over very fast to become the man of the house, to be the protector, to be the provider. I mean, I came off the fucking porch at 8, 9 years old, right? That's the last thing I ever wish for my children. My youngest is 8 years old right now. And I see how innocent and pure his soul is. And I just couldn't imagine, I couldn't fathom what my mom was thinking when she saw just my whole aura shift, right? My mom is not someone who has that much life experience, right? So she wasn't able to tell from a young age when I made that shift to the streets and just living that lifestyle. But she felt it, right? Because energy exchanges, right? Transfers. But these were all things that I had to go through on my own to now make it really make sense. So my children don't repeat it. So what is the selfish element that I get from this investment, right? Me being a parent is that I get to live some of the childhood memories that I skipped when I was younger through them. I turn into a fucking child every time I go to this trampoline park with them. I have to run in the arcade, play laser tag, right? And it just really helps me tap into like my truest authenticity, right? Instead of being this big badass of a guy, oh, I can't put that on, oh, I can't do this, or I can't do that. Listen, the day that I have a fucking girl, I'm gonna put all type of fucking, I don't know, I'm not gonna put, panties or some crazy shit on, but I'm gonna put on the fucking teacup parties. I'm gonna do it all, right? And it's only because you're building a stronger bond with them. You're opening up that level of comfort with them. You understand? And that's just something that I just can never ever. I just can't You can't put a price on that, right? You can never underestimate the power of being someone that's present into somebody, obviously as your children, that intentional with. So the return on investment of being a parent, it's really helping me become a better version of myself. And that was a catalyst for me when I knew that my children were going to be like me if I continued down the road of destruction, which, to be honest, I probably wouldn't have lasted that much longer. Either I would have been locked up for life or dug 6 feet fucking deep in a hole. But I knew that if not one or both of my children were going to try to take over my legacy, I couldn't live with that. I couldn't live with that. Them hearing like, damn, your dad was a fucking legend out here. Oh, he used to do this. Oh man, your dad, it was for the streets and for the code and for the game. And having one of them take that role of trying to play their dad and thinking of all this shit that I've endured, every fucking experience that I've almost been killed, been caught with some shit that could have sent me to the fucking cage for life, it's just gut-wrenching. I could never imagine or picture that or even accept that for my son's destiny. I just couldn't. So that was the catalyst for me just saying, you know what, Eddie, you have no other fucking choice right now but to get this shit together. Get this shit together and start to show them what a real fucking man is supposed to look like. Not a tough man, all right, not the strongest man. It's an all-around fucking man. And again, I don't make the rules to this, right? I'm not the one that started to bullet point all the descriptions. It's very simple. You want to be a real man? Be a real fucking parent. All right, you be a loyal fucking spouse. You be a legit and ethical business person. All right, you take care of your community. You don't intoxicate it. Right, and there's just a few more, but it's just it all started with my children, knowing that if I can become this version for my children, doesn't matter what role they want to take, I've experienced it, I'll be there to catch them, and I'll be the example that they want to emulate. And that's just the greatest fucking return on any investment that you can make is into your legacy.